The front line of Ukraine once again erupted into chaos and fire when Russian armored forces attempted a daring push through Ukrainian defenses, led by none other than a T-90M tank, the most advanced war machine in Moscow's arsenal. What began as a thunderous breakthrough attempt soon transformed into a shocking reversal as the Ukrainian side unleashed one of its deadliest tools of modern asymmetric warfare, an FPV drone loaded with explosives that turned the battlefield upside down. The T-90M, often described by Russian state media as the pride of its armored divisions and a symbol of near invincibility, rolled forward with confidence. Its thick armor and advanced defense systems were designed to withstand almost anything the battlefield could throw at it, making it one of the Kremlin's most prized assets. With its imposing silhouette cutting across the smoke-filled horizon, the tank seemed unstoppable as it spearheaded the Russian assault on the Ukrainian defensive line. Ukrainian defenders, initially pressured into temporary withdrawal by the sheer weight of Russian armor and artillery, were far from broken. Hidden in the ruins and trenches, they regrouped and began preparing their countermeasure, deploying agile, low-cost FPV drones that had already earned a reputation for destroying vehicles worth millions of dollars. These small yet deadly machines had become the silent assassins of the war, and once again, they were about to prove their worth. As the T-90M moved through broken ground and shelled-out terrain, its turret rotated with menacing precision, firing shells at entrenched Ukrainian infantry positions. The tank commander believed momentum was finally shifting in Russia's favor, that the defenses had cracked, and that their push could open a wider corridor into Ukrainian-held territory. But hovering just out of sight, a Ukrainian drone operator tracked every move, waiting patiently for the perfect strike opportunity. Russian troops on the ground soon spotted the approaching drone, raising their rifles and unleashing desperate bursts of gunfire. Tracers lit up the air, but the FPV pilot kept weaving, making sharp turns and dipping low to evade incoming fire. The drone accelerated toward the advancing tank, its explosive payload glinting in the sunlight as soldiers shouted warnings to the crew inside. Panic spread through the ranks as they realized the dreaded moment had come. The drone was locked onto the T-90M. The impact came with devastating force. The FPV drone slammed into the vulnerable upper armor of the tank, detonating in a fiery explosion that pierced through steel and ignited fuel and ammunition inside. A massive fireball erupted into the sky as the mighty T-90M shook violently, engulfed in flames and black smoke. Within seconds, what had been Russia's most advanced armored spearhead was nothing more than a burning carcass of twisted metal and shattered pride.
Ой, смачно, хлопці, дуже смачно.
Ukrainian soldiers watching from their trenches erupted with raw emotion. Cheers, shouts, and cries of triumph filled the air as they witnessed the impossible. The armored beast, once thought unstoppable, had been humbled by a weapon costing only a fraction of its value. The spectacle was more than just a battlefield victory. It was a powerful symbol of David defeating Goliath, proof that innovation and courage could topple brute force and steel. The destruction of the T-90M not only halted the momentum of the Russian breakthrough, but also unleashed chaos within the enemy ranks. Nearby Russian infantry, who had been relying on the tank's protection, broke formation in panic, scattering for cover as Ukrainian artillery pounded their position. What had started as a bold offensive quickly devolved into a disorderly retreat, with soldiers abandoning equipment and vehicles to save their lives. Video footage of the strike soon spread across Ukrainian and international channels, capturing the last terrifying moments from the drone's onboard camera. The world saw the screen shaking violently as the FPV dove directly into the tank before erupting into static and flame. Moments later, additional footage showed the T-90M smoldering. Its once-feared turret collapsed into the earth, surrounded by abandoned Russian helmets and discarded rifles. Analysts observing the incident pointed out that this single strike highlighted the vulnerability of even the most heavily protected tanks in modern warfare. Armor plating and electronic defenses offered little against the precision and agility of FPV drones, which could slip through gaps and strike weak points with deadly accuracy. In an era where drones dominate the skies, brute strength alone no longer guaranteed survival. For Russia, the loss of yet another T-90M was a devastating blow. With production limited and battlefield losses mounting, every destroyed tank chipped away at their military prestige and strained their logistical capacity. Beyond material losses, the symbolic impact was even greater. The myth of the invincible Russian tank had once again been shattered, undermining morale among soldiers and fueling doubts within their own ranks. For Ukraine, however, the victory was electric. The sight of flames consuming Russia's most advanced war machine lifted spirits across the front line, serving as a reminder that determination and ingenuity could overcome overwhelming odds. Soldiers circulated the footage among themselves, drawing strength and hope from the knowledge that no Russian weapon, no matter how advanced, was safe from their relentless counterattacks